Hello and welcome to the couch right here on ZTN Prime. This is where we talk football and nothing else. It's the world's most beautiful game, and this is the biggest football show anyway in the country right now. And yeah, we always bring you some exciting guests. We've got an exciting guest. I think he was here exactly a year ago. Now he's back. We just want to see how things have progressed. And our topic for today, inside Michael Nees' playbook. Yeah. Warriors ready for World Cup warfare. That's what we are talking about. And to help me go through all this, I've got the couch squad. One member is missing, but I'm sure those who are here will do the job just fine. Veronica Guaze is here, and David Singh. How are you, Vero?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I know I've been missing in action. I think the past two shows I was not around.
Out on suspension.
Well, I was suspended.
Yeah.
But was David coming?
Yeah, he was. You brought some fun spectacles. Mr. Teach was actually calling him.
Oh, you wanted to join in the fun? So, yeah, our guest for today, besides the couch squad, we've got Michael Nees in the house. Michael, how are you?
I'm okay. Good evening, couch squad.
No, you're part of the couch squad.
Yes.
So we had to drop one member
okay.
to accommodate you. We want to see if you can be a permanent member of the couch squad.
Okay.
That's what we want to see.
If I pass the test.
Yeah, this is your audition. Yeah. Like a second audition. Remember when you came to Zimbabwe, you came here. So it's almost exactly a year ago. Yes. You came here. I don't know how you did. But you went through the whole process, but now you're back. Maybe the first thing, though, you were on holiday. You went back to Germany after a long time. How was that?
Not necessarily. I was in between also at home. Now, over the German summer period, I had to go home. I wanted to go also home, but, the next 5, 6... 7 months are going to be very packed, and there's basically almost no time. We have 3 FIFA periods upcoming, the end of the season, the Worldcup. Then we have the preparation for the AFCON, which must be properly planned and executed. And then we have the AFCON. That means that was the last real opportunity to go home. And at home, there's also a few things with authorities. For example, I had to get a new passport. My old passport was full. Some small things, and I brought you something to avoid anything. Wait, I brought you a small
parcel. A small gift.
No, let me because to avoid any speculation. Wait. This is my defensive driver license. So I'm not illegal or undercover here or whatever people want to say. All right.
I see.
I also didn't work 6 weeks without necessary documents. Here you can see. That's how it looks.
Sure. The work permit.
No.
Before it was in the passport.
All right.
And they started to digitalize. Okay. So they want to also modernize the things. Exactly. I saw it when you came at the airport, and I had a new passport to apply, but the passport number with that must correspond. Mm-hmm. So there's many things. So there was, it was all prepared. And when I came back, then we had to just that it's printed and properly registered. So I was not. In June last year here, or I came here in 6 weeks now undercover, hiding from the authorities. Your immigration services have a difficult job, and they're doing a very good job. And now this is now much nicer.
So what you can do? No, Michael. No. Before you take it back. No. Wait. Before you take it back. So this is your camera right here. Yeah,
that's how it looks. Now much nicer than before. Now,
so you can tell them that you are here legally. You are working legally.
I was every single day. Look, when I came here last year, one or other contacted me, even those who write, and wanted to track me in interview. And I told them, look, listen, I have not yet started to work. I have not yet a work permit. While I was in Germany, I was contacted, and I refused. I said, I give interview once I'm here. First right has anyway my employer. And then, when I have the necessary documents, then I can do an interview. I'm not falling in such a trap. I'm too long in football, sorry. No?
So let's just go back to when this all started. You know, when you came to Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
you know, taking over the team, qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations, and where we are right now. Because when I look at it on the surface, okay, I look at what Michael did. These are the games that he has played. And my math is very poor, hey? But I know you won those 2 games that got us to the Africa Cup of Nations. But from your own perspective, how well have you done?
Okay, very. Look, you must first get back to the starting point. When I came, if you want to determine how well you are doing or did, you must get back to the starting point. I came here last August, very late. I think 2 weeks before the FIFA period, not even 2 weeks before the period started. Without having my own backroom stuff, I came working with the people who were before.
Yeah.
The national team, the real warriors, not the COSAFA. I say now the full national team is always in the FIFA periods, you know, when you have all the right of all players.
Yeah.
They had 7 games before I came. There was a friendly against Botswana, 2 World Cup qualifiers, then a tournament in Malawi, and 2 World Cup qualifiers.
Tournament, yeah.
You had in regular time not a single win. 7 games without a win. You had 4 draws. Botswana was a draw, then they pay a penalty, but a normal game there's no penalty. Yeah? I go from regular time result. You had 4 draws and 3 defeats. So I took over a team, no win. On the top of that, before was the FIFA ban. You had no games. So basically I took over players who had 2.5 years not a win. That was the starting point. On the top of that, we had a massive goalkeeper crisis, because not that the players are bad, but they didn't perform to their level. For whatever reason. Here goalkeeper, there goalkeeper, bringing Male Tabasiba that time in, and not giving him a single minute in friendly tournaments or COSAFA Cup or whatsoever. So he had a goalkeeper crisis. And I tried to solve that by recalling Washington Arubi. Then I looked at also the other keepers in training and so, and I think that I could solve. Now, after 1 year, we have 4 or 5 keepers competing. And number 1 is Washington Arubi, outstanding performance in the whole qualification campaign. Of course, it's not a solution for 5 years. It's a solution for a tournament, for 1.5 years. He won't get younger. But even in Germany now they're discussing if Manuel Neuer is coming back for the World Cup. Yeah. So I think that we could really solve. We have now, honestly, I think 4 keepers where we starting to build. Not yet everybody, but we have a little bit more depth there.
Who are these 4?
This which I invited. It was it's Washington, then Martin, Marley, yeah, and now Elvis.
Okay.
These are 4 keepers who are competing for the 3 spots. Although number 1, I can tell you, is with me, Washington. He made us qualify. He had outstanding 4 games basically without a goal at the beginning, if you remember. Outstanding performances. The 4th goal was in the last minute, more or less an own goal that time when we beat Namibia. Outstanding performance. He had 1 mistake, but therefore he saved us. The stats even don't lie. We had just 2 days ago, I have with a very good analysis meeting, and basically when you look at the stats, the goalkeeper saved us. From the stat objectively, the guy said, hey, the goalkeeper must have saved you 1 or 2 goals, in Nigeria, for example. And it was the case. So there we solved that. We will have definitely, I'm sure, 3 good keepers in the AFCON. I could give Marley the first cap, yes. Was now in this friendly tournament, but he must break through in his club now. No? We are not a development team. The national team cannot be that. But that we solved. Then when I came here, they were good players, don't get me wrong, and so, but there was a creative heart missing, something which can release the ball to the players to assist them, and that I thought was Kamabil at that time to call him back to help the team if he wanted and if he was ready, and he accepted. And the same, he was outstanding in our qualification, and I mean, as a coach, maybe 2 of my best coaching decisions in my career. No? You call 2 veteran players back, and they excel, and you qualify with 1 game to spare. It also improved the others, and what is very good for me, we found very quick. I mean, that was very big time pressure. You come, you work with people you never worked before, and basically you have to really pull in one direction and stick together and this, and I think we really could make this happen, and we qualified with 1 game to spare. Was excellent. So the first part was almost too good. Where we came from. You know, there was also speculation now I only have 2 wins in 12 games or so. You know, when I look at the real Warriors, you had 19 games before me, 2 wins. The 3rd win came in the 23rd game. Actually, your football was really down when I came. Let me be straight honest, if you like it or not. And we could turn together, not me just. Somehow we could turn the page, and we achieved something. What others achieved before, we achieved it in 3 months.
All right.
So from that point of view, the first stage was, in my opinion, it was, in my opinion, almost overachievement. Huh? And you couldn't ask for more. Then you must know, then it was clear that the transition committee came to an end. Then there comes new leadership. That was also, you know, you never know who comes, what ideas they have, and so. And then President Marquisi and his team was elected to the leadership at CIFA. And basically, it's not that, it's again, you know, something which obviously with own ideas. In March, we could still, I think, play very well in these 2 qualifiers in World Cup, because this World Cup qualification, the new CIFA leadership, as much as me, inherited midway through, and not in a very good position, which limits your tactical options in the game and many other things. Yet, I think these 2 games were very good. Really, from quality of football, we tried our best. We played against the full strength, full motivated and supported Nigerian team, not on a synthetic pitch, on a real pitch. That was a very tough opponent in game, and we could manage a draw. I think against Benin we wanted to win. We could have won, but we came back from 2 goals down. It showed also character, and everything was maybe almost, in my opinion, yeah, you know, when you look, team development. I studied sports science also, and when you follow a certain theory from an American psychologist, I learned at that time already. There's 4 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and we could follow that very quick. And it was clear that then in June it will be very critical. The friendly period that we...
Sorry, Michael, before we come to the friendlies, because we also want to involve these guys.
Sorry if I talk too long, just interrupt me.
That monologue to go on and on and on and on. I like the fact that, look, from a Michael Nees perspective, this is what you're thinking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that you've overachieved.
Not overachieved, but we achieved, I think, the maximum what we could in the available time and from the starting point.
So, but do you understand? I'm glad you chronicled the problems that were there before, right, from the team that was there, how shaky it was, how you fixed the goalkeeping department, how you brought in what is seemingly a creative hub for the Warriors, the games that. But here is a question, because when we play the game, we are playing it for the fans, right?
Yes.
Because they come in to support the team.
Yeah.
They pay their hard-earned cash to support the team, right? How many games did Michael Nees play?
I had 12 matches.
How many games did Michael Nees win?
How many games did Michael Nees lose?
No.
I
No.
won. Look, yes, when you look at this, 2 matches
No.
out of 12.
Wait, Michael. You went on and on. So, can we all...
So, yes,
How many games did Michael Nees win?
from this 12, 2.
Right.
Yes,
How many did you lose?
2.
Right. And the rest were draws. Why I'm asking you this? Because this is the same thing that you gave us. 20 what matches that
Yes.
they played before you came?
Yes.
Right. But you might also know, yes, there were problems that were there. But I'm going to ask Veronica to come in. Just this period, your perspective or your thinking, Michael Nees coming to Zimbabwe with that record from the games that he played and everything that he has done. How do you rate him up to this moment?
For me, I wouldn't really say he overachieved or he was up there. For me, he's someone who came within a camp that already had a lot of problems, and we were coming from a ban, trying to get back to our feet so that we go back onto the international stage. And for someone coming in a camp like that, he tried to stabilize what we had at the moment, at that time. But what I'm not sure now is when he came, obviously, he had to sit down with his employers. They had to discuss. They discussed his contract. They gave him the targets, and they shared their vision. What I'm not so sure is when you came into office, what targets were you given? Was it just about qualifying for the AFCON, or you are building something for Zimbabwe beyond AFCON? Because when I revisit what you told us earlier on, you said you brought back Washington Arubi. Even when you look at the creative hub that you recalled back to international duty, looking at Kama Billiard, we're looking at Knowledge in Sona. We're looking at guys who are going to give us something maybe in the next 1 year.
Yes.
So maybe it is because we don't understand the targets that you were given. Are you giving us were you tasked to assemble something that is going to give us results just now, or this is Zimbabwe trying to get back on the international stage and trying to be a force on the international stage, or it's just...
Look, how can I say it? The players, that mandate, or how can I say it, the mandate, it was not like it's a written mandate, you have to, and then your contract is terminated, yeah? Not at all.
No.
But what was clear, when I came, we wanted and we needed to qualify for the AFCON. Why? You would have been again 2 years in the wilderness. It would have brought your football completely down, and all your things, and then the noise and the drama and whatsoever, and it would have brought your football again 2 years back. So that was really the wish and the desire of everybody, and basically, if you want, a mandate, and that we achieved. That because it would have been a massive setback if you would have not qualified for the AFCON.
So
you would have again 2 years wait.
This is what you're thinking.
And it's not what you think. I think this is a very logic. It's just, or would you have preferred? I give you an example. You would have preferred not to qualify for the AFCON. You would sit here and you cut me now in pieces. I mean, come on. You can say what you want.
But
that was really, really needed and achieved. At the same time, when you look, it was me now who made Mali Tabasiba the first cup, although he's number 5 in his club. Chireba, which you always hype, very good player. Don't get me wrong, I get very well along with him, even maybe some people don't think. But he still has to establish himself in club football.
So
I tell you now, I have invited in these 5 camps 40 different players. Invited. 35 played, 5 couldn't get match time. That happens. I think the majority, 18 or so, were from the local league at that time. 7 players, I think, 7 or 8, first cup under me, and 7 or 8 were never really established, maybe 1 cap or 1 minute or, not really established. So 15 players actually are brought in and then tested. So,
sorry, coach. Let me cut you there. Let me cut you there.
Yeah.
But remember, yes, you gave Mali Tavazi some minutes, but remember when you came, these players were already there. Remember, you were talking about that 4-team tournament. Yes. Remember, for you to even know that they are these players, one way or the other, they come to play for Zimbabwe. So my question right now, from what you are saying, if you had not made us qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations, with what you did, it would have brought us
down
back 2 years into the wilderness.
Yes.
Do you think you're the messiah for Zimbabwe football?
I never said that.
No.
That's not my language, and I'm not
it's a question that I'm
messiah.
asking.
I never think I'm a messiah for anything.
It's a question that I'm asking you.
If you ask me, I'm not a messiah for anything. Sorry.
So what do you think you did? Because from where I am, if, for example, the job that you got... Wait.
Okay.
The job that you got, if it had gotten maybe he came after they had advertised, he got the job. Maybe he could have done better than you. But you are
maybe much worse.
Exactly. but you are the guy who got the job.
Yes.
Right. So what gives you the right to say, no, if I had not qualified, you would have gone back 2 years into the wilderness?
No, look, very simple. Number 1, you need to look at results. And we qualified. That was important. It was important because why? You were banned before. You want to compete on a tournament international stage. The pressure, therefore, was so high, also on the players, that you need certain quality players. No? It was really very important. I'm telling you, if we wouldn't have qualified, it would have been brought football very, very much back. No doubt about that.
But you didn't get any players from Mars. The certain quality players that you're talking, it's the pool that we already had.
No, it's not true.
What do you mean?
Kamapilat was not ready to play.
What?
Washington, Nairobi, nobody had on the book with these 2 players. Most likely we wouldn't have qualified. The other players did not perform to their level. Did they?
So you made all these things happen?
Together with the staff. That the players perform, of course, together with the staff.
Let's go to David.
Who else?
Let's before you go to David, the coach says everyone wanted to qualify, and that's a norm in any football playing nation.
Because
they want to qualify for any tournament.
Qualify.
Yeah, but what he hasn't clarified is the targets that he was given by the employers when he came to Zimbabwe. What is it that they agreed on?
Because she wants something tangible. Yeah. Okay, Michael, you have come in.
There was no target to say you have to win 3 games out of 6 or you have to have 10 points.
Or to qualify for the AFCON.
It was clear the national team was really down to turn that ship around, to play better football, to get better results, and if possible, to qualify for the AFCON.
So it would have still been okay even if you had not qualified for the AFCON, but you would have helped them rebuild a team after the ban.
Yeah, look, of course. I'm sure they wouldn't have been happy. I'm sure you wouldn't have been happy. I'm sure there would have been a lot of noise. And who knows, maybe I wouldn't have been here, would not be here anymore, because I also have my personal targets. I'm not here to or go somewhere to waste my time.
No, I just needed the clarity to understand what you were told by your employers on the day that they handed you the contract. Because
But that's what I just told you.
No, it's all right. Let's go to David.
There was no mandate, you have 9 points
Yes.
or 4 wins or this. It was clear to qualify for the AFCON, to improve the level of football. Not only that, to also stabilize the organization around the team, because there was a lot of, what I heard, chaotic things around the teams, and that would make actually, I think, many players how do you call it? Retire resign from the national team in the former times, yeah.
So
and also to make it on a fair and clean, how can I say, work. I came without anybody, without any strings attached, you know. So I had a better, in a certain way, better starting point than any local coach, because when you grow up here, you've automatically, they will always come in, when you take this player, he played with you 3 years ago in the team. You know, I had that advantage. I came with a clean bill, you could say, because I had nobody relation. Yeah? And that helped.
But just so you know, before we go to David, that chaos that you're talking about around the players and all that, the friendly matches that you went to, players were not paid, and you saw it firsthand. So that chaos that you were talking about will always be there. We'll come back to you. Let's go to David. David, that's the report card there for Michael Nees.
Yeah.
Are you happy? What's your verdict?
To be honest, I'm not happy, Howard. There are too many draws there. There are too many draws. You know, there are certain games that, okay, fine, we might be coming from behind and getting those draws. Because remember, all the games that we played and drew, we were coming from behind. There's no game that we led and, you know, concede and it could a draw. The Nigeria game, we came from behind. Equalize, maybe we could have won.
You're not
that
right.
game.
The Kenya game, we were leading. I think you got it wrong.
Which one? The 1-1 draw.
Zimbabwe,
The
Kenya,
1-1
we were
draw.
coming next from behind. we were leading.
Kenya equalized. We scored first.
The 1-1 draw.
Yeah, the 1-1
that's
draw.
the only game.
And
yeah.
the first
I
two.
might be wrong. I might be wrong.
And no, you're wrong. And the
Which-
first two, we
which-
cannot came
which other
behind
one?
because the game ended 0-0. Nobody could come from behind.
No,
I
that's
think
what I'm saying.
That's
no,
pure maths.
But what I'm
That's
saying,
simple
Michael,
math.
Michael,
Nobody came
what I'm
from
saying,
behind. But what you just said is
but what
not
I'm saying,
right.
Michael, imagine the Benin
Kenya,
game,
Zimbabwe
that 2-2.
0-0. Nobody came from behind. Zimbabwe, Cameroon
No,
0-0.
if I'm
Nobody
talking-
came from behind.
But Michael, I'm talking about the
Zimbabwe,
games
Kenya,
that
we cannot get
we
them.
conceded.
I'm
I'm talking about the games that we conceded.
Let
isn't
him
it?
speak. Yeah,
I'm
let
just
him
talking
speak.
about the
Yeah.
games that we conceded. That we were
Zimbabwe,
coming from
Kenya,
behind.
we conceded.
1-1.
We came not from behind.
Maybe that's the only game that you're talking about. But what about the rest of the games? The Benin game, the Nigeria game, the Cameroon game that we lost, isn't it? We came from behind. Those are the games that I'm saying.
But,
So that's what you are not happy about.
Howard, if you want to win games, isn't it? You have to defend and score goals, isn't it? You have to lead also. You have to take initiative to lead. I know his second half, all the games that he has come from behind, was so good. Let's be honest. But first half, normally, especially these games that I'm talking about, we were conceding first half. Then second half, we come back strongly. Maybe it was because of his pep talk at halftime. That changes everything. Because if you look at the player's character, second half is totally different from the character that they give first half.
Okay.
look in a certain way. I don't want to contradict you 100%, yeah? I think you got a few things wrong, which I just try to correct, which you didn't accept.
Yeah, but there are also things that you're
what
getting
I
wrong also
want to agree
during
you,
this
yes,
game.
we are, it looks like we are a progressive team. A progressive team like a marathon runner who gets faster, faster and faster. And there's other runners who start very fast at the beginning and they slow down towards the end. If you would analyze our team really, then I would agree to you. I do not want to fight. Then I agree to you that we are rather a little bit a progressive team, which gets the longer the game, the better we get. That I must admit, that was a little bit in our matches indeed the case. Is it something bad or is it something good? You can also say Cameroon, they started against like full power, and then they were basically dead at the end. Nigeria the same. You could also say they did it wrong, because in Cameroon, if I'm honest, if it would VAR, we would have had a draw. And then,
But that's what I said,
let him speak, David.
yeah,
Let
but
him
then you
speak.
must look also at every game. You must see individual in some aspects. When we went to Cameroon, I'm not kidding. Cameroon had, before the Wednesday game, they came with a charter flight home. We had a Friday game. The Wednesday game, they performed very poor. Why? Because they had no time. I think Eswatini, or where was it? Anyway, they not Eswatini, but Cameroon. They had recently also in the Worldcup a game where they played Wednesday. Trouble. The second game, better. It sometimes determines if performance, when the game, where the game, how you travel. I tell you now the game against Cameroon, give you an insight. We had a very difficult travel via Ethiopia overnight in a really very basic transit hotel. With all the check-in, check-out, it's very, very difficult. Yeah. Then the next day we were traveling via Gabon to Cameroon. I think from hotel to hotel we were 35 hours traveling. Very tired. You come to a tropical climate. They are already lying at a swimming pool, laughing at you and drinking some smoothies, and you arrive sweating, tired. No, I want to give you a little bit of background. When sometimes,
but
that's a welcome to Africa, man.
No.
So Michael,
but
Michael,
look,
so-
what
sorry,
I want,
welcome to Africa.
but let me
Sorry,
then
Michael.
finish. Let me do it. You do not let me
Michael.
finish.
So sorry, Michael. The
But I
problem,
didn't finish
the problem, if we do it
No.
like this, we will spend, because we only have an hour.
Yes,
Yeah,
but what I
so-
want to tell you now, you cannot, under the conditions we arrived there, midday heat, think you can there just attack blindly like you did maybe against Lesotho, and the result you saw by yourself. And it's a case. You need to have a certain strategy. And
So
when you,
I will tell you a story that probably you don't know. Before you,
I don't know.
When we qualified for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations, we had a coach called Callisto Pasua. They traveled by bus
From here to Blantyre.
to Blantyre. It
In
was very
Malawi.
cold. He actually carried a blanket that went everywhere. So why am I telling you this? This is the story with African football.
Exactly.
So I asked Veronica, I
Yes,
asked David
wait.
to rate you with what you have done.
But-
I also asked you to rate yourself. Right.
I told you,
did,
I'm happy,
did.
I'm satisfied.
No.
what
You're
we're
satisfied. You're satisfied. I'm also going to rate you because I'm also part of the show.
But I haven't finished, Howard. Mine. Because
David, you're going right round, David.
because when I was trying, Howard, to explain, he came in
Okay, finish your...
to explain,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because I was saying his teams and it's all the games that he came from behind, isn't it?
No. I don't.
He performed very well second half. Even the game that he's talking about that we lost to Cameroon, second half it was different. Because Cameroon started well, but second half it was Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe were all over Cameroon second half, isn't it? Same with Nigeria game. When we got the equalizer, we could have got a winner again in that game. I don't know, especially in terms of player selection as well. Howard, yes, we all know every country people cry for their best players to start the games, isn't it? Like the issue of Tawanda Chilewa that he was talking about. The whole of Zimbabweans, they were looking at him and Tawanda, the relationship between the two, maybe because Tawanda didn't play a certain game and people started speculating, isn't it?
So
What I can only agree on him-
You come and explain
Yeah,
that.
but what I can only agree on him about his team is about the players. Wherever they are playing, they need to perform at club level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me come in. This is your report card, what I'm thinking. Because imagine I'm sending a kid to school, and when they come back, I also want to see what they have done. So from the games that you played, 2, 4, 6, 8, right, games that you played, you won 2 out of these, and some of them are draws. And when I look at that, Michael Nees got this job ahead of maybe Callisto Pasua, ahead of Norman Mapeza if they had applied, because what Zimbabwe or what Zifa representing Zimbabwe were looking for were wins, because we play football to win. When you see the multitudes out there, including me, I'm also a fan. Besides being a journalist, I'm also a fan, and I want to see the team doing well. For me, this is bad, because we've got 2 out of 8. What's so special about Cameroon? Because they are also putting in 11 players. We are competing same tournament. You also look at a team like Benin. You also look at, you were talking about Nigeria. For your own information, Baltimore Brito, who was here before you, went to Rwanda, played against Nigeria, very strong Nigeria, and also got a 1-1 draw. Right. So my verdict, this is my verdict. This is bad. Because I would, when I see somebody coming from as far as Germany to come and coach ahead of other coaches that were there, and this is the report card. For me, this is bad. Yes, we can sugarcoat it. No,
So-
African football going to Cameroon, we had to lay
Wait,
over for
let me-
35
let
hours
me-
and all that.
So if you say bad, then you see only 3 bad coaches there.
Yeah, they're bad.
But I don't think
this
they're
is-
bad.
Michael,
I'm telling you now something.
Michael, this is
I tell
know
you
what?
now something.
Yeah,
That's why they are not even at the...
No,
Yes.
wait, listen. I tell you now something. Football is about results.
yes. And results come from wins.
Wait. But football is also about achieving objectives.
So what was your
So, yeah,
objective?
no,
The
listen.
same
The
objective.
Listen,
objectives
exactly.
that she
wait.
was asking
The
you.
objective was to qualify, for example, for the AFCON. If you go for the winning record, Portugal would have never been European champion in 2016.
No, that was a tournament. That was a
Hey,
tournament.
what is it? We're
No,
talking
Michael.
about results.
No,
not
but that
about-
was a tournament,
Hey, you
Michael.
don't
Come on.
understand.
That was a tournament.
What is a tournament?
Yeah, that was a tournament.
We're
Michael,
talking here, what do
Yeah, but
don't you
Michael-
understand?
No.
If we're talking about achieving
But
objectives,
they qualified to go to the
Wait,
World Cup,
wait,
Michael.
let-
They qualified to go to
No,
the...
you
Come in and ask
you
something.
don't understand what I want
Coach.
to say. It's about, first of all, achieving objectives, about results, and about how you play, if you progress as a team and if you play quality football. And if you ask me, our team plays good football.
It plays good
Earlier
football.
on-
But they're not winning. But they're not winning.
Let's go to Veronica.
Earlier on, the coach said, when I came to Zimbabwe, everything was chaotic. You were down there. And
Yes,
I
absolutely.
have achieved something with the team. Then he talks about traveling 32 hours, players not getting enough time to rest. He also mentioned him coming in to recall
Washington.
Washington, not Washington, to
Kama.
recall Kama and knowledge the players who had previously retired for whatever reasons that he was talking about.
Yeah.
So now, my question is, Coach, so in other words, are you trying to tell us that Zimbabwe is actually in a deeper mess, not based on results, but probably administration-wise?
No, they're not. Of course, in a better way. We have a new federation, a new leadership. They're trying very, very hard. I mean, alone me was traveling around with the president in Europe, trying to not bring only diaspora people in, but to link the diaspora people with the Zimbabwe also, to open the door for everybody who has potential and the heart and so on and so on. They're trying very, very, very hard. And but one thing is for sure, I think we're on the right track. Absolutely. And not only that, there's already basically players which after the AFCON, already the transition makes it much, much smoother. I can tell you, if I would have to select now, if we wouldn't qualify for the AFCON, and I would have to select now a team, I could immediately select a team, a good team, for after the AFCON.
Okay.
And,
Now with the
one
new,
thing-
with the new leadership, just like you are saying that we are now in the right direction, does it mean that we are going to see improved results now under the new leadership compared to the normalization committee who made you travel for 30-something hours and you failed to produce the results?
So before you come
No,
in,
we
just
did not fail to produce the result.
sorry, Mike.
Well, let me be just honest. You look at this glass half empty, I look at half full. From all the games, we only lost 2. We qualified for the AFCON with 1 game to spare. I don't know what you want. We are not out yet of the World Cup. Not out yet. But our chances, we inherited the qualification midway through with 2 points out of 4 games. There you were poor in June last year. Sorry to say it, that was poor.
All right,
Not
so
our games.
I will tell you what we want as Zimbabweans. I will tell you because you just said I don't know what
I'm
you
not
want.
sure if you speak for all Zimbabweans,
No, no,
because the people
no,
who speak to me
I'm-
speak a different
No, no,
language
no,
like you.
I'm speaking for all Zimbabweans. This I will tell you why, because of what I want to say. You are going to the Africa Cup of Nations. Kudos, your team qualified.
Yes.
Do you know what Zimbabweans want? They want you to bring back the trophy. Will you bring back the trophy?
Let me be honest. Look, our objective is not to daydream everything and say we want this. I want a lot. We want to come to the second round and then we take it from match to match. We break our objectives down to smaller units and try to achieve them. The way you talk, you would achieve nothing in football, I'm sorry to say it to you, because you put the end target in the beginning. You need to break your objective to smaller units down. If you would talk a big talk, on what basis you can talk, we want to win the AFCON. Others also. You know, in our group we have 2 teams. When you look at the quality of football in Africa national team, we have 2 teams which are in the top 6 in our qualification campaign in the AFCON. South Africa belongs in Egypt to the top 6 teams from quality currently, whether you like it or not. And anybody who has just a big mouth will fall very deep on this nose.
Quick question. Why are we playing in the Africa Cup of Nations?
I tell you now,
Yeah.
we want to come to the second round and take it from match to match to come as far as possible what our potential will give us. If we play good, then we get far. But we want to go to the second round and take it from match to match.
So realistically, what's our potential as Zimbabwe? You look at Zimbabwe, what's our potential?
I think we can get far, but I will not tell you how far. I think we can get far if we stick together, if we work towards one goal, if we pull in one direction together, if we be sharp and in shape in the AFCON. Our team is more difficult to prepare than South Africa. 90% of South Africa players playing in the local league. The league finished, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the 3rd of December.
Sorry,
they
Mike,
will
Mike,
wait. They have
no,
2.5 weeks
we are not
preparation.
talking about South Africa.
Ours is more complicated.
Michael, you are not coaching South Africa. You are coaching
you
Zimbabwe.
don't need to tell me where I coach.
So because just now,
Yeah,
Michael,
I give you comparisons.
But just now you were saying if you talk big, you want. So this is why I'm asking you, realistically, our potential. Again, you can't give me, because if I say we want to win, you're saying it's big talk, but it's not real. But realistically, what's
my
our potential?
target is if we perform good, we can go far. But we have to perform good and we have to work for it and not talk for it. That's number one.
But
If
you
we
are the one
stop
who's
that,
working for it with your players.
We are working towards going to the second round, I tell you again, and then take it from match to match. And then we get what we deserve.
But looking at the year
I have
that you-
big
the year
confidence
that you
in
have spent-
our team.
Let's go for a break. When we come back, we go further and then look at the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Benin and Rwanda. The upcoming games in the first week of September. In studio, we've got Michael Nees, the Warriors coach, as he tells us what he is thinking ahead of the World Cup qualifiers, as well as the Africa Cup of Nations in December and January in Morocco. Stay with us right here on the couch.
Harare. Tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
The couch are right here on ZTN Prime in studio. We've got Michael Nees, Warriors coach, as we do a post-mortem of his first year in charge and also looking ahead to the World Cup qualifiers the first week of September against Benin and Rwanda. And in studio, we've got the couch squad, David Sengu and Veronica Gwazi. Sorry, I had to stop you. You wanted to ask Mike a question.
Yeah, coach, on any team, the coach, the executive will tell you that if we perform good, we'll go far. But it's been a year since you have been in Zimbabwe, and I've seen you follow even the local games. You watch as many as you can. I'm sure you even follow the guys who play in the diaspora as well. When you look at the Zimbabwean players, born or raised wherever, but the caliber of Zimbabwean players, do you think we have got what it takes to eventually qualify for the World Cup on some day, or maybe win the AFCON?
Yes, from a potential, yes.
Okay.
From a talent, yes. But it's a long way. That's for sure. To win, what you said, the World Cup or so, yeah. I mean, that's no qualification. This campaign is not over yet. We are still in the race. No, we are not throwing the towel. There's two tables on the market. The one where South Africa still has the 3 points, and the one without. Actually, Lesotho is in a very good position with 9 points in that table plus 5 goal difference. If they make a surprise, then they're with one leg in the World Cup. Benin has a very good position. They have 2 home games now against us, against Lesotho. The most important games maybe in their history. They know exactly if they win these 2 games, then they have 14 points with 1 leg away. We can expect they're very tough opponents. Even Rwanda is in a decent position. Yeah? The group is not decided yet. But the best cards has South Africa, and I would say still Nigeria. Yeah? That I must really say, but it's not decided. And for us, I see it, our campaign as a double project. I said that before in the interview. Because this I inherited in a bad position, and the new leadership inherited. Our focus must be towards the AFCON, but at the same time, trying everything. If the chance arises from the result that we can grab maybe a playoff spot, to grab it with both hands. You don't know how the other teams will result. If South Africa will now beat Nigeria and Lesotho, then they're through. Basically through. On the top of that, you cannot even calculate why. There's 9 groups, right? Mm-hmm. Only the 4 best runners-up go to the playoff. Only the 4. Now there comes the complicated thing. As the group with Zambia had Congo and Eritrea, 2 teams are dropping out. So to determine the best second spot from the 9 groups, you can only count the matches 1, 2, 3, 4 and discard the games against the number 5 and 6 in the group. And nobody knows in which group, which team can be number 5 and 6. It can decide maybe the last 3-5 minutes in the qualification matches that suddenly this team is in the playoff, this team is out, suddenly this team is in, there is a goal scored, suddenly this team is in. Nobody can predict right now What will happen? Nobody. It's impossible. Too many variables in it. So from that, we must do everything to bring a good performance, to grab victories, yes, and hope that the other results are in that in the favor.
Go our way.
And then maybe to grab a playoff, a group winner, possible, but then a lot of draws. The other teams would have to play a lot of draws, and we would have to win. But the thing is, when the other teams, the draw is not anymore enough, they would also risk more.
But
then it's very unlikely
casting
that
the-
games end in a
casting
draw.
the other teams aside.
No,
do you
but they
have
say
the
we
Arsenal-
can achieve if we win, theoretically. If we would win all the 4 games, we could come to 16 points. 16 points could be a playoff spot.
So is that achievable? Is it something that we can look at and say, okay, this is achievable?
It's possible. It's possible. It's achievable. But very difficult and very challenging. We play against good opponents who also are in a very good position, and they don't want to waste their chances either, just like that. So we will meet stiff competition. We will have to play our best games, definitely, to achieve that.
So looking ahead to the games against Rwanda and Benin, I don't want to put you in an awkward position because I know at some point you're going to announce your team. But from the friendly matches that you played, I know you've got a core of a team that you've been working around. From the friendly matches that you played, did you find anyone that can get crushed into the team?
Yes. I think yes. For me, definitely, the friendly games was, but also if it also helps if you see maybe a player is not yet ready. You know, it's also helpful. If there's maybe a player and you see he's good, but maybe not ready yet. But I think that from these friendly games, really it was the objectives we had for the friendly games was really achieved. The thing is now, this September period is a bit complicated for Zimbabwe. More complicated like other teams because we have a very diverse team coming from all over the world. Now Zimbabwe is in mid-season, other teams are in pre-season, some season starts early, some start late. So this makes it very challenging to bring the players, together on a similar level. And we must wait. Next week is also midweek games in South Africa and in England, in Europe. So we must wait because it could be also someone gets injured on Tuesday or Wednesday. You have to wait there. That's why I only can make the squad next Thursday. When it comes to your other question,
So I didn't ask you for your squad. You are going to announce your squad. We are perfect. We are fine with that. My question, I'm going to repeat it again. The friendly matches. Yes, you say some players are good but are not ready. But what
and some players are good and ready.
What we want to know, because we know the core of your squad. Yes, somebody might be injured, like you were playing the games with Captain Nakamba out. But we know when it comes to the core of your squad, maybe he's there. But what we are asking is, Michael Nees is sitting here, he's watching Zimbabwe playing against Burkina Faso, and he says, wow, this is a good player. I think he's got a strong chance of getting into my team. Are there any 2 or 3 players that you can mention right now that these players, I think they really acquitted themselves well?
Definitely 3-4 players recommended themselves. Definitely. To be really considered. Of course, when all players are there, the competition is much stronger. And on some positions, especially on the wing, you can't by yourself. The competition is even tighter. But definitely from the camp, I really think 3-4 players, which were before not with me, 5 basically, because there were some players, also good players or established players not yet with me because of other reasons, of injuries or so. Definitely. I think there were 4 or 5 players which I could really say, which were before not there, which could really deserve to be considered and which could be called up. Absolutely. That's why I think that that June period was very important, we played against teams which came with their strongest team. No doubt, Burkina Faso is a good team. And they came, I think, with the best squad. And And we basically had this experimental, or how can I say, many players. We also gave one or other free.
You're trying out. a lot
For
of
example,
players.
Marshall Munetzi. If push would, if we would have win at all costs, then Marshall Munetzi would have been squad. But what Marshall Munetzi had a very tough season. You know, he's suspended in the first game against Benin for 2 yellow cards. Does it then make sense to drag him out at the end of the season when or is it better for the team if he has a good preseason and comes in the plays in the first team in Wolves and comes in good shape to the second game against Rwanda? I think that makes more sense. I think you would also agree that.
So if we bring David in, David, because you've seen Michael going around the country, watching some teams.
I also see him very often.
Yeah. So is there anyone that you think is going to be called who has never been called before from what we've seen in the local league?
Abubakar Moffat for me. I think he deserves to be called, and Michael have a chance to see him. I think maybe because in terms of professionalism and all, yeah, in terms of even fitting into that team and the position that he also plays, he can compete with Marshall, he can compete with Andy, Mota, he can compete with Marvelous in that central midfield role. Because
Sorry, these three players are a little bit higher level. Straight away.
Of course, but he can still compete. Because remember, these guys, they started from somewhere to be where they are. They started from somewhere. So Abubakar Moffat can still compete. He can start from somewhere and compete also. But it's up to him.
Did you watch him?
You know.
Yes, I watched
Yeah.
him.
So
I watched him basically, I tell you. You know, I go around the country. I also go to training. I watched him when he had trials in Scotland. When he trained at Scotland. I saw him already. When that time I was at Scotland visiting the club. You see, I visited already 7 clubs. In May I started the 2 Bulawayo, Chicken Inn and Highlanders. Then I continued with Scotland and Dynamos, Cabs and which one was it? Yada, yes, and now I was yesterday at Herentals. And that time, when I was at Scotland, Moffat was training. So I already saw him there in training. I was also now at a game at Moors. But when don't get me wrong, I knew about him already before he was coming back. But let me be honest, he was playing 6th division, 5th or 6th division in Spain. He didn't make it to professional football. I'm sorry to say you that. And they cannot be also that wrong. There are also people. So I'm not saying he's not a good player. So I'm just telling you facts, what was before.
No. But you are judging him based on where he was.
No.
But
what I
why
want
are
to
you not
say,
judging where he is?
what I want to say, people must make good choices in their career.
Of course.
In their career, good choices. It doesn't bring you if you're many years in the 6th division somewhere.
Yeah, but that's a topic for another day, Michael.
For your own personal development. Maybe you waste a few times in your personal development. I'm just saying it.
Yeah,
So can you judge him based on what you saw?
Howard.
Not,
I can judge him,
David,
yes.
Judge him based on what
Yes.
you saw, not what you
No,
heard
no.
about. Yeah. So
I saw
based
him
on
at-
what you saw.
I saw him. I think it's a player very easy to judge. It's a certain type of player, but I'm not telling you what I think. And he has strong points, but he still has also points where he has to improve.
Can he
a
fit
lot.
into your team?
I'm not telling you
Howard.
if
Howard.
I select him or not.
Howard.
There's no chance they will get a feedback from me about that.
Howard.
Are there
Howard,
also
let's be
some
honest.
players that
Let's
you
be
have
honest.
called before that we are not going to see this time around, especially on issue of making decisions? We have seen a lot of player movement, especially when the season started. Some players have become congested in one camp. They are not really getting a lot of game time. So are we also going to see a situation whereby some players whom we have called before, who have not been getting a lot of game time this time around, not coming back into the Warriors?
Who you think?
I'm not going to throw names.
But that's coward. You must say it.
No, but it's the same thing. That's
I'm
what
telling
Michael-
you, who do you think? Let me be straight on. I know who you think, but if you do not say it, I will not.
Okay.
I will tell
Let
you
me
now
do this.
something.
Let me do this.
We've got a minute. We've got a minute.
Yeah.
We've got a
When
minute.
we talk about experience, obviously we're looking at capability and we're
I
talking
will
of
not
knowledge and
call
so on.
players back to the national team and give them a kick in the ass. Forget that.
Okay.
They must be injured or whatever. Sometimes they can be.
So lack of
innocent.
fitness does not come into play.
Fitness also come into play, of course.
There are a lot of players who have been called by
But,
Michael. Some of them were not even playing Kuma Club Squad. They were just beat part players.
Like
We know
who?
them.
Tell him.
No, I'm not going to say names as well. But he knows
So
some
you're
of those
all
players.
cowards, Mike and you,
Exactly.
and you're all
Exactly.
cowards.
And we are all
Exactly.
cowards here in this squad.
Exactly. We are all cowards because he doesn't
Nobody
want
wants
to
to say a name. Ah, my God.
And there are a whole lot of them,
That's
Howard.
nice.
There are a whole lot of them.
The coward squad.
All right. So no, it's only you. I
I
speak my
include
mind.
myself because nobody says name. Look, let me be honest. I know what players can bring, and I will select them with the best intentions. That's for sure. I invited 40 players in these 5 or 6 camps. 40 different, 35 were used. That's a high number. It cannot go on like that
Exactly.
anymore.
That's a very high number.
That I must really say. And there was 7 or 8 first-time cap under me, and 7, 8 we were not established really. So also almost first cap. So got game time. I need now to focus a little bit to the people I trust, which doesn't mean that the door is closed. It's still 4 months to go.
One or two can sneak
But
in.
I must also a little bit start to narrow it without closing the door. But I will not ask a player to come back, have a plan with him and everything, and then give him a kick in the ass. No
I think what
chance.
you should do,
All right,
Michael.
David, sorry, Mike, sorry. Thanks so much, Michael, for coming through to the couch. I'm not going to repeat it what you said, but thanks so much, Coach. When can we expect the squad announcement?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, because there's midweek games, you want to wait because always something can happen. I think there's one player has on Thursday a match, that's Munashe, a Champions League important match against Basel. You know, if they qualify for the Champions League, that's a big step, you know. And all the others, I think, have games Tuesday, Wednesday in South Africa and Europe. And we have to wait there because too much things can happen. You always want between the squad announcement and the meeting, one match day between. There still can a lot of happen. But you don't want to have 2 between. That's too much risk, you know, too much invariables. And this time we need, honestly. And then I make the selection with the best intention together with my squad, with the team, basically the coaching team. And we will see.
Right.
You will
Mike?
surely argue about whatever a selection is done.
All right, Mike. I'm going to call you Mike the Coward because of not wanting to say things. Just like
You
what these
didn't
guys-
want to say.
No, they did want to say.
Yeah.
I said my piece. Thanks so much, Mike, for coming through to the couch. We'll catch up with you on next Thursday when we hear the squad that you would have announced then.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much to the Couch Squad, Veronica and the Coward Squad. Veronica and
But he said
and
the president.
David.
Remember, he refused to mention the 4 players that you asked him to mention.
Yeah.
It was just a
No, look,
issue
I
with everyone
cannot.
who told them as
I
it-
cannot mention one name, and when I announce next week
But you-
a squad, this is unfair.
You mentioned
to-
one anyway. You mentioned one.
Yeah.
You mentioned Munashe Garanganga. Thanks
Yeah,
so much
but we had
for
a
watching
match,
the
not
couch.
in relation
right
to
here
selection.
on ZTN Prime. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Right here on ZTN Prime.